Today I want to talk money. Yes, I've been getting a lot of requests for me to talk about finances for men. The reality of it is I get stuck into the relationship subjects because, hey, it gets a lot of views and that's what people are interested in. And the thing is, when I try to talk about money, I get these little sly comments, oh, you should stay in your lane. You don't know what you're talking about. Because I don't flash. I don't have anything. There's no freaking Ferraris. There's no freaking mansions. I live an average, humble life.
Cost?
$30 shirt.
Jeans?
$60.
How about the shoes, dude? Jordans?
Shoes are a couple $100 probably.
Okay. You got no Rolly?
Nope. This is about $20 here.
How much do you make last month?
Last month was a few $100,000.
Woo! How much the jacket or sport coat?
Normally $300, got it for $69.
Hey, how about the shirt?
$50.
Okay. You got any watches on?
I watched nothing fancy.
How about the jeans?
Jeans were $120. Those are Lululemon.
How about the shoes?
Jordan 1 UNC Blues. Those were $320.
The total outfit is what?
$500.
How much you guys made last month?
$875,000.
Shit. Do a fit check, man. How much your shirt?
$875 Prada.
How much the necklace?
$18,000.
How much the backpack, dude?
$2,800. My pants Balmain $1,200.
How about the shoes, dude?
It's Prada. $1,100 too. The matching duffel bag too. $3,200 Gucci.
How about the watch?
$25,000.
How about that?
$6,000. But she's priceless.
We gotta talk about this.
$185,000. Last month, well, let's do this. Let's do it with this month. March, projected to do about $450,000.
Come on, man. Shit. Let's what, dude?
Let's go get this money.
I don't have anything to demonstrate to you that I actually have wealth. The cold hard fact of it is I don't have massive wealth compared to what Western society deem as wealthy. Because the problem we have in today's society, if you're not flashing it, you're not rich. And this brings me to the first lesson that I have for you young generation. I am saying this with certain sort of frustration because as an older man, I can tell you without a doubt, don't care how much I tell you about wealth and how it's not important. I can tell you that until you're blue in the face, but if you have never had wealth, you will never know what I'm talking about. You will always reject the information I'm giving you until you've actually had it and lost it, had it, still holding on to it, but you have had to have tasted it at least. I'll give you an example. If I said, hey, here's a beautiful bowl of escargots, snails. Escargot is a French name that they give for snails in fine restaurants. It really was a peasant food. So was lobster, by the way. So just in case you guys didn't know. But the point is you're going to pay a premium dollar for escargots, stewed snails, in any fine dining restaurant. But if you ask me, hey, can you describe what escargots taste like? Because I've never had them. I could try my best to tell you that it sort of tastes like a cross between a shrimp and chicken. But if you've never had a shrimp chicken, you would never understand what I'm talking about. So you will never really believe what I'm telling you because you have never tasted it. With that said, let me tell you about money. Money is simply a tool. That's it. Simple, simple, simple. And it's an amazing tool if you do the right things with it. It's also a drug because the more you have, the more you want. Because if you have an addictive personality, you will just keep pushing for more and more and more. One of the biggest problems that all human beings have, they are greedy. Most species don't have greed. A lion will eat until he's full. Once he's full, whatever meat is still left there, he'll walk away from it and other animals can eat it. He will hunt the next day, or he'll have the female lions will help hunt the next day. But a lion don't grab it and dig a hole and hoard it and wait and then get another piece of meat and then hoard it and then make sure that he has a massive amount of meat so that no one else can have that meat. That's not what lions do. No species on earth does that I'm aware of, except human beings. It doesn't matter how much we have, we want more. Unless we get individuals like Jim Carrey in this video here.
I believe that I had to become a famous idea.
Yeah.
And get all the stuff that people dream about, and accomplish a bunch of things that that look like success in order to give up my attachment to those things. It's been part of the evolution of ego is to spend your first half of your life acquiring and adding, thinking you can add to yourself, and it looks great. I mean, it looks great when you got a cool car and you got good, nice clothes, and and you're and you've done something that people admire, but it can never fulfill you. You can never be happy. You know what I mean? It's not where happiness comes from. And I dealt with depression, a few years ago, and people still think, well, he's going through. You can tell he's depressed, and it's not. I have no depression in my life whatsoever. Literally none. I have sadness and joy and elation and satisfaction and gratitude beyond belief, but all of it is weather. It just spins around the planet. It doesn't sit on me long enough to kill me.
The story that I'm trying to get across to you in that little clip is he had to acquire it. He had to get it in order to realize it's not that important. Now, a lot of you will say, oh, the only reason he can say it is because he has an excess. And there is a message in that as well. I always give this prime example. I've had a helper working for me for the last 16 years from the Philippines, and she has 8 kids. She had to leave her family almost 20 years ago in the Philippines, who she fly back and forth to every other year, every other year, whenever she feels that they need her. And she sends all the money back to the Philippines, and she just lives on a very little. But I've never come across a woman who's so damn happy. And so you need to ask yourself, what is the ultimate end result of life? What is it? Because that's what it's all about, right? Because it doesn't matter if you're crying in a Ferrari or you're crying sitting on the side of the road. You're still crying. Jim Carrey told you he went through a depression. I went through a depression when I was at the peak of my financial success, high 6 figures. Point is that it isn't the money that is going to make me feel any better or worse. The problem is that you need to be okay here first in order to feel that the money is working for you. Which one is more important, your health or the money? Yeah, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you have a terminal illness or you have a problem that they can't solve with throwing your money at it, you're still screwed. Life is still shit. Now the tool, the money, will make you feel better because you can get the best doctors and you can live in some measure of comfort, but it's never going to be completely comfortable if you can't walk or you're in constant pain or you're addicted to painkillers that you're trying to numb the pain. That's the reality of life. So I just want to take you guys through a few examples of money, just to get your mindset around it. I'm going to be doing future videos on making money, etc. But you need to understand how to ground yourself while you're making money so that you can ultimately get there. Because one thing is important about making money is that if you're not disciplined enough, if you don't have the capacity to sacrifice, you will never be rich, my friend. You will never be rich. I'll give you a small example. A couple days ago, I'm teaching a lady on social media, and she's trying to build a YouTube channel. And she says, I am just so impressed by how fast you've grown and how you pushed it. And I said, listen, pretty much I've had all of my experience of building from age 19. I started my first business at 19. She said, yeah, but this is not the same thing. I said, no, it's not the same thing as a gym, which was the first business I opened, but the discipline that is required to run your own business, physical business, you still apply it in everyday life. I know that I have to create videos consistently. I know that I have to get my editing on point. I know I have to listen to my viewers. I have to take feedback from those who have told me, hey, I don't like how you edited that there. Hey, I don't like how you did that. And you have to make those micro adjustments. As long as you are humble enough to understand that you have customers, subscribers, listeners, you have to understand, hey, if they say something's not right and I am not deviating from my main product or message, I should listen. You should never ever think that you're too good to learn. I listen to every single one of you guys, but I use my critical thinking skills to say, this guy's an idiot, or you know what? That's a good freaking point. That's why I listen to all generations, because the internet generation belongs to the young. There was no internet when I was born or even a teenager. But the big problem that we have in the internet society is that if I'm not driving a Ferrari, if I'm not standing in front of some big mansion flexing my wealth, they don't take you serious. I'm not going to come out on the internet and tell you, oh, I'm rich. No, I'm not rich. I could easily go and rent a Ferrari. Right now, I could easily go and rent a Ferrari. $1,000 a day. Easy. I don't even have to rent one. I got 2 friends that have Ferraris, and I have 3 friends with Rolls Royces and Bentleys. I could easily go and just say, hey, buddy, I need to borrow your Bentley for a couple of hours. I want to do a video. Park it in front of their big villas. Park it in front of some villa. Anywhere here in Dubai, there are thousands of them. And I could flex like you wouldn't believe. But what would that do? I'll just be bullshitting you. That's not what I do on my channel. I have to be true to myself. I got my bloody 9-year, 10-year, almost 10-year-old Hyundai sitting in the carport outside. My wife has a 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee. She wants a nicer car. Mine runs, looks great. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm not trying to impress anyone. You know, women, they want something a little nicer. You know what? She's happy with it. But the thing is, we can afford it. But one thing is for sure, I have no debt. Not even a $29.95 credit card bill. Don't have it. Practically 80% of people in the West have debt, serious debt. I don't. And I have assets that pays me. I have no liabilities, none. But I have assets that pay me consistently. Are they huge amounts? Millions? No, they're not. Will I ever be broke? No. I won't, unless something catastrophic happens. And if that happens, my insurance will take care of it, because I'm that smart to know that, hey, need to cover myself just in case. How many people can boast that? Not very many in the West. Very few people. Most people live in debt. But we have this idea that, oh, you got to flash it, you know?
So can you smell
100%
rich and the fake rich?
Yes.
What's the difference between people who are actually rich and those who are acting like they're rich?
People who are actually rich, like you rich. And sorry, guys.
That's good. That's good.
They're not concerned about impressing you.
Interesting.
They are, I talk about this in my book. They are apex predators. They do not worry about what you think about them.
Wow.
It is the guy that you see walking into a 3 Michelin star restaurant in a quiet, normal looking outfit, sweater vest situation, eats his meal, leaves a 50% tip because they can. That's true wealth. Then you've got the wannabe wealth that goes to that same restaurant, dripped out in a designer label, is, making a scene. Why isn't this water sparkling? This is still. I don't like that. No. Like, just, really, really new to the experience, and then leaves a 10% tip.
Wow.
Listen, man, I've hung out with some wealthy people, man. One friend of mine that was almost a billionaire, him and I went on a trip one day to 4 days. We went to Jamaica. We stayed at a really nice 5-star hotel. And the hotel has some of the best Michelin star restaurants in it. And you know where we ate practically every day? At a jerk chicken stall, like a block and a half walk from the hotel. That man loved that bloody chicken. And we just sat out there freaking flip-flops. Weed man sitting on the corner selling his weed. Nothing luxurious. Everybody just casual. Yeah, boss. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. We were in just freaking shorts, flip-flops, just hanging out. This man could literally buy half of the block in the city we were in. We're in Kingston. This man could buy the freaking hotel if he wanted. Yeah. You know what? We enjoyed sitting out there for 4 days, just eating jerk chicken. Yeah. So when I tell you the rich don't want to show you that they're rich, one of the most beautiful things about being rich and not famous is freedom. The freedom to walk down a street and not have anyone know who the hell you are. No threat of kidnapping. No threat of being mugged, harassed. It's the most beautiful feeling. He was free. That's what rich is, my friends.
You said one time that one of the things you learned is that to succeed greatly, you have to be willing to fail greatly.
Oh, 100%. No one failed more than I did. I deserved all the credit I received. Nobody's seen more than I seen. None of these fighters, none of these athletes. I'm the king of the barbarians. There's no one that could surpass me in the pain I've endured.
I love that quote from Mike because, guys, getting rich or getting to that point where you're wealthy, I'm going to stop using the word rich and start using the word wealthy. He understands sacrifice in life. I mean, he's talking a lot about fighting, but physical fighting and fighting in the real world to get ahead is not much different. I'm telling you. I've had days where I just ate tuna fish sandwiches, okay? I've had days where, listen, man, I just had to do whatever it took to save a few dollars to move to the next level. So sacrifice is it. And the other big secret I want to tell you is time. If you are a young man, if you are in your 20s and 30s, in 20 years, you'll be either late 40s or in your mid 50s. You should be able to be stinking rich. You should never have to worry about money. And when I talk about rich, I'm talking about having enough money where you never have to worry about money when all of your basic needs are met. When you could be happy with the basics and a little bit more, you're there. The basics and a little bit more. Because the basics is what you need. A little bit more is your wants. We have taught people in our society that they have to push for an extreme. When you have to push to an extreme, it literally will rob you of some of the essence of life. And I don't want that to happen to me. I want to still be able to say, hey, I got my health. I'm not working for freaking 4 or 5 days straight out, lack of sleep, bad food, and I can't function. I don't want to be 70 years old and my body is literally in its worst state because I've worked 50, 60 years of my best life just hustling to eventually just have to, yeah, I got the massive house. I've seen this happen with one of my good friends, met him in real estate. If I mentioned a name to you, you would go, holy crap, you knew that guy? But I can't do that. I'm talking about one of the largest frozen food empires in the US. This guy was so messed up. The drugs, the Vegas trips, the alcohol, he was addicted to everything. In his final days, man, after 5 failed marriages, finally, this multi-millionaire